Hey everyone, welcome again on Stack channel. And in the last video, we started working on our WhatsApp React Native project and we created this screen. Okay, now it's time to work on our second screen, that is this. And for that, what we will going to do, yeah, the phone setup part I will complete later again. Okay, but let's create a new page called welcome page. Okay, phone will come later, but first let's create some basic UI. Okay, and I will use RNF. I already told you that it's really important. I mean to work with this thing. Okay, I mean it's easy for us to create a snippet for us. Okay, so we have created a welcome page, and again I will replace this thing with loading page. Okay, and let's cover this part too, which we forgot in the last video because the last video became too large. Okay, so now we have added a welcome page, and in the welcome page, okay, let me just close all this thing. In the welcome page, what we need to do, that we need to use this background. Okay, so and the first thing will going to be a text, then second thing is background image, like again a logo you can say. Then we have this kind of policies, then we have a button agree and continue, and of course this part too. So let's start one by one. So again, things, the children are coming one by one. Okay, in a column manner you can see this is our first children, this is second, and this is third, fourth, and of course fifth. So things are coming in a column manner. So let's create a root style, and in the root style I will use display as a flex. Okay, or let's not touch the root style, or we can add a display as a flex. Okay, and here let's apply a styles dot root. Okay, and now what we need to do is the first thing will going to be text. So let's add our title style. Okay, text will going to welcome to WhatsApp, will to WhatsApp. Okay, a capital, and it will going to have a color again as 0. Okay, and font size will going to be around 20. Okay, let me add this thing first, style here, style dot title style. So welcome to the WhatsApp. Of course we need to add a font weight too. It will going to be a 500. Okay, and I guess it should be 30 across. Okay, it will going to be, I mean font size we need to come up with. Okay, so I will put as a 28, and the next thing will going to be this background image. So let's add that to in our children list, so then we will align it properly. Okay, so our second children will going to be welcome art, import welcome art from assets slash svgs slash welcome page art. Okay, so this is our second children. Let me use just after the text. Okay, so if I will hit the save, it should okay, now it's working fine. It happened in React Native a lot of time. Okay, and basically we need to align item because it's column. So I wanted to align item in a center because it's not coming center, you can see that. So I will use align item to center. Okay, so it came into the center. Then third thing will going to be this thing. Okay, this is a text, and it have lots of thing, like it have a privacy policy which will act as a button. Then second thing which we have accept the terms of service. Okay, so let's work on that part. So basically I will just need to copy this text again here, and let's work on the description. Description style, we can use DSC style. Okay, it have a combination of color. Okay, so basically it's kind of so the first combination will going to be color 0, font size will going to around 13. Okay, and font weight will going to be 400. Okay, and let me use disk style. Okay, so it will be disk style. Instead of welcome to the WhatsApp, it will going to be read our privacy something. Let me copy the whole text and let me paste it here. Okay, and then let's break the word. Okay, so inside text we can again use a text which have a different color. So read our privacy policy, actually it have a different color, so we can wrap this thing with a new text, the whole privacy policy, that we can call as a link text. So we can use here, we can call it as a link text. Okay, link style. Okay, link style, and it have a color code. Let me copy the color code and add here. So it have a color code, this it's blue color, so I just have to apply this thing and this color is added. Okay, basically takes also take one parameter called on place. So in the on place we can redirect a user to a different page. Okay, if you want, on privacy policy, if you wanted to show some kind of some new page where we address our privacy and policy, that we can show it over here. Okay, and then we have a tab agree and continue to accept the terms and service. So again, terms and service have different color. With the on press, again terms and service can land into the new page. So yeah, that is also added. I know the UI is not looking good, I'm just adding all the thing here and then we will sort it out. Okay, so we added this thing and we need to work on agree and continue button. So for that, what we can use a button. Okay, it's our fifth component, and that button will be imported from the React Native. Here, from where we imported text and view, from there only we will going to import a button also. And in the button we can provide a title. So our title will going to be agree and continue. Okay, and then the next thing will going to be on press also. So button also have on press, so on click of on press, whatever you wanted to perform we can perform. Okay, so we got agree and continue. Now we need to work on the button style. Okay, so let's work on a button style. Okay, so here we will add a button style. So here the height I will going to provide will going to be around 40 px. Okay, and width will going to be around maybe 80%. Okay, and I need to apply the button style over here. We can't customize this button element. Okay, so don't worry, we have another element instead of the button called placeable. So let me use that, which will work same as the button. It again have on place, and instead of this title thing, what we can do, we can customize our text as well. So like suppose we have a text with some certain height or certain font size or something. So if wanted to customize that thing, then we can use this pasteable if okay, and we can put it over here, agree and continue, and we'll come here later. Okay, so we got agree and continue, text and traceable, and let me add some color here. Okay, so I will add a background color. Okay, so background color will going to be, it will be a green color, right? So it is as this is the color, so that is added. Okay, so background color is added, and it is not getting a width. So the first thing we need to do is width of the root will going to be 100%, so it will get a width, and I guess 38 will work fine. Okay, also if we use display as a flex and put a line item or a line content center, I mean it will be a line item. Okay, so let me use a line item center, and also we need to use a justify content center to put thing in center, as this button, this placeable will work as a flex box. So if you put a thing in a center of this flex box, we need to use a line item and justify content as a center. Let me use as a 70%. Okay, and let's add some border radius around 4. Okay, so it got the button, we got the button. Okay, and I guess we added this thing, and yeah, the most important thing, let's add a button text style. Okay, so let me add that too. What will going to be the font size? Font size will, I mean let me add a color first. So color will going to again as 00. We will come up with the I will come up with the typography and all in future, but I just wanted to make interest for you guys. Like if we start working on the screen, it will like motivate us to writing a code. Okay, if I will do the setup in the beginning only, then you will feel some kind of boring, and I guess you will not follow me. Okay, so I will just doing a setup all the screen slowly, then we will come up with the theming and styling of our React Native apps, and the best approach how we can handle our project or a big project in near future. Okay, so we added this button text style, and it, the font weight will going to be 400. So all these things are basic thing which automatically applied on any text. Okay, but yeah, I just added just for the sake of clarity. Okay, so we added agree and continue button, we added text, we added all these things. Only thing is left is from Facebook, these two things. Okay, so why I wanted to cover this thing, because later, because it's a reusable component, we need to use the same thing on a loading page, or I mean maybe we can use it from in other places too. Okay, for that what we can do, either we can export it as SVG and use it as the logo kind of thing which we are using here, or what we can do that we can create a separate component. So base UI, it's like you can think that here let me create a text logo component. So basically it will going to be reusable component. Whatever component will going to be reusable, I will put in the base UI only. Okay, then fs. Okay, so text logo, we will going to have a 2 text box. Okay, and again let me add a root basically if you see here, then you will find that we need to use as a column wise. So I will just add a display as flex, then automatically our root view will become display as a flex box. I mean column flex box. Okay, and if I will use it here just on the welcome page, just after this thing, okay, I have to import this component, and you will find that text logo component is came here, and the first text will going to be from, and the second text will going to be Facebook. Okay, it will going to be from, and the second text will going to be Facebook. Okay, so it came here. What we just need to do that, if you see that it's have a line item as a center, so we need to use a line item as center. So it's looking now good. Let's add a style, text style 1, and we need to add a text style 2 also. Okay, so the for the text style 1, the color will going to be, let me add a color. So the color will going to be this color, and it will going to have a font size around 12 px. Also the font weight will going to be around 400. So this is our first text style. So this is for the from style dot text style 1. So from is changed. Now let's work on the second text, which will going to be have a color 000, and it will going to have a name text style 2, and it will going to have a font size 15, and again it will going to have a 400, and also we'll going to add a letter spacing around 2.25. okay, so it will kind of not squeeze, it will like this only. Okay, so basically the space between the letter will increase if we add a letter spacing. Okay, so let me go add and provide this text style. Okay, so this thing added from Facebook. Okay, we can add a little bit padding top around 10. Okay, so we got it. Okay, so from Facebook is added. So I guess we have every component created from the scratch, and yeah, the Facebook will be in capital. So let's use a Facebook in capital. From Facebook, there should be some padding between these two text too. So if you are using a view as a flex box, so flex box by default have a gap property, and gap will be added in each children. Suppose we have a 3 children, 1 2 3, either it can be a column wise or row wise. So if we add a gap like maybe 4 px, okay, so the padding will come in all the children. So all the gap will apply padding between all the children. Okay, it will add a gap in between all the children, either it can be a row wise or column wise, it doesn't matter. Okay, so if I will add a 4, then it will add some kind of padding between these two children, not on a top, not on a bottom, just between the children. Okay, so we can put it as a 3 also if you want to decrease the padding. Okay, now the next part is let's complete the whole thing. Okay, read out. Okay, read out it will going to be, and now if you see welcome is coming from the first, but there's some space between the welcome to WhatsApp. Okay, and let's align all of this thing. Okay, so what we can do that we can divide the whole thing into 2 children. this will going to be a first children, and there will going to have a second children. Okay, so right now we have a root view, and inside a root view we have added all our uh, component, all our element inside a root view, but we can create another view that will going to be our children 1. Okay, so this is our children 1, and then we can have a children 2. Okay, so this root view will going to have a 2 children. Okay, and let me add a style of those children. Style, oh sorry, content style will going to be for the first children, and logo style will going to be for the second children. Okay, so the first children, so inside first children we will going to put all the content along with a button. So all this thing will go on our first children. Okay, so it will come on our first children, and if you don't wanted to add a second children view, let it be there, but you got it right. This is our first children. Okay, so this is our first children, and logo is the second children now. Okay, our main root will have a 2 children. First will going to handle all the content, and second thing will going to handle the logo part. Okay, again the content style will going to have a display flex, align item center. Okay, so and also we need to provide a width too. Okay, and it should have let me provide a root to a justify content. So justify content will work as vertical. Okay, so if I will use a justify content as a space between, I don't know why it is not rendering direct to you. Okay, and we need to just do one thing, that we need to provide a style over here. I forgot to add a style over here, styles dot content style. Okay, so root we're going to have a justify content space between. I'm going to provide a height as 100%, and you will find out that when we provide a justify content as 100%, then you will find the first children. So this is our first children. Okay, it is now in a top, and the second children is now in a bottom. Okay, so whenever we provide a justify content, so whatever we have, like we have a 2 children, what it will do that it will stick to the bottom and the top if we have a flex box as a column, and if we have a flex box as a row, then these children will going to be side left, and these children will going to be side right. Okay, so this is the functionality of the justify content. Okay, so now what we need to do, that we need to at least add some amount of padding. Okay, so here I will add a padding. I will add a padding top, because you can see that it have a padding from the top, and it also have a padding from the bottom as well. Maybe it can be symmetrical, or maybe it have a different amount of padding. So if I will use a padding 84, or if I will use 100, then it will come here. Okay, similarly I can add a padding bottom to padding bottom, and it will be again 100 I will put. Okay, so from Facebook it came like this. Okay, now let's work on our content style. Okay, so now we talk about 2 children. Okay, the text, logo, and the whole content part. Let's go ahead with the children in our first children. Okay, so all the thing we have put inside our first children. Okay, so let's work on the content styling. So here we can add a gap, of course, and gap can be around 20 each, or we can say 80 each. Okay, it will be too large to handle. We can say 30 each. So it will add a padding between all the children. So welcome to WhatsApp had padding between this background art, and all of these children have a padding between each of them. Okay, now what we need to do that it should look like this. Okay, and for that let me put a padding 30 only. Padding between this text and this button should be more, so we have a button style. So I will add a not padding, it should be a margin top will going to be 20. Okay, also we need to convert this text like this. Okay, and for that what we can do, we can add a padding in our content style. So content style handling all these things, and in the content style only I can add a padding horizontal. So what does that mean, the padding horizontal? Padding horizontal is add a padding in left and right side. Okay, so if I will add a padding 30, it will apply on left and right side both. Okay, if I will increase to around 50, then you can see that it is adding a padding between the left and right. Okay, 32%. So we got agree and continue. So let me go on a button. Button I gave a 70%. Instead of that I will going to give a 90% to look more wider, and the only thing is left here is this text style. Okay, even though the gap between this thing also have more gaps, so let me increase the gap to 40 at least. So it should have a gap between the children, so button style gap will decrease to 10. Okay, now let's fix this thing. For this what we can do, that we can go here and let's add one line text align as a center, then it will work. Okay, so the work of this page is now completed and it is looking exactly like this. What we can do, that we can just align item is center, here also align item is center, so it should be in a center. Okay, so yeah, let's use this same component in our loading page. So if I will go on app.tsx, instead of this, if I will use our loading page, then let's use this thing. Okay, and if I will go on a loading page, let me add a new view. Okay, and in the new view I will just import this text logo. Okay, so I have added this thing, and let's add a style for this thing. Okay, basically I wanted to put this thing in here just like we did on the text logo. We can do this thing either in a flexbox manner, or we can use a position thing. I mean position, we can use position for this view. Okay, so if I will use this thing outside of this view. Okay, and if I will create a text logo view style. Okay, and basically I will again use position as absolute. So basically our first children is in a background, second children on top of the background, and third children I wanted to align it here. Okay, I'm using position as absolute. So if I will use a bottom as 0, then you will find, let me show that thing. So it came here automatically by default. So styles dot style. Okay, so bottom style, it came here, and what I just wanted to do is I want to have it from bottom, uh, if I will go here, what was the padding I have added in a bottom? The padding I have added is 100. I will give bottom as 100, so automatically it will go, it will come 100 above from the bottom. Okay, so the distance between here to here, it will going to be 100. Okay, and because I'm using a position absolute, and I'm saying that in the bottom 100 you go. Also, I will give a left as 48%. So basically it will go on a center, and I can use a calc, but yeah, let's use a 40%. So it will come on a center, or we can use a 38%. So it should come on a center. Okay, so yeah, that thing is also added over here. I know it's not a good way, but it's good. I mean, it's added here. Okay, so our work on the loading page and the welcome page is completed. Let's work on the enter your number page. Okay, and for that we need to introduce a navigation to in our system, that when I will click on the agree and continue button, then we need to navigate from this page to another page. Okay, and that thing we will do in our next video. Till that, please don't forget to subscribe the channel, like the video and share the video to your friend, and yeah, keep watching.